And we're back, Q3. And we've got an extra person in the room. Gab, you've joined us.
I've joined you! From in our secret location, I was able to make it. So,
very temporarily. Quick cameo.
Yep. So, missed out all the fun of the AFC East.
Yep.
Who's going to win it?
Patriots.
Yeah, you've just summed up the last half hour in one first week.
Exactly.
I'm assuming, without being there for the recording, I'm guessing you went Patriots, Jets, Bills, Dolphins.
Oh, well, yeah. That's how I had the four of them.
That's exactly.
Oh, that's how we did them.
Yeah.
Yes. Whoa, way to go.
Hey, don't need to be there.
Yes. So well summed up.
over to the AFC West then. The last of the AFC divisions to be tackled.
Right. So
where do we want to go first? Do you want the 4 teams first?
So the 4 teams are
Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, LA Chargers, and Oakland Raiders.
Let's start in Oakland.
We're going to start in Oakland. Of course, we're going to start in Oakland. So
the big thing is the man with the gammy feet.
See that picture of these blisters? Oh god! Man.
So they traded for Antonio Brown. That's their big incoming, I suppose. And he decided that he would.
Biggest, but they've had a few.
Is the biggest move that they didn't also draft a quarterback?
Well, yeah, that sort of reaffirmation.
Maybe not the biggest move, but
guy. I know what I mean. Yeah, because there was a lot of rumblings he would go, and that was one of the worst things I thought, because once they had traded for Antonio Brown, they took him to Derek Carr's house and they filmed all this, and this is like in April before the draft, and I'm thinking, see if they turn round and trade him. That's like a bit harsh.
Was there maybe a bit of genius play by Mike Mayock in his first year as GM to make everyone think that they were in the quarterback market so they could get the guys that they wanted? Even so, their draft picks were quite strange and nobody really understood them. But
yeah, I know what you mean by that. Yeah.
But did they play their table a little bit and play their position to get?
I think everybody does to some degree, and it's Mayock's first real stab at it. He's obviously been the de facto draft guy. You know, he only releases the one mock. It is the day before the draft that he always releases it and stuff, and he obviously couldn't do that this year. But I think he played a good game actually. So, but
I mean, my favourite part about Mayock's draft was on the last day, as they were at the bottom of the 7th round, and they were playing Stump the Truck on the NFL coverage. So they were coming up with guys that were in the draft and trying to find guys that the truck had no footage of, and Mayock submitted his actual draft pick and got in contact with the guys and said this guy, and stumped the truck with his actual pick. And that was my favourite part of the whole draft.
It's quite good fun. And they're obviously on Hard Knocks now. We haven't seen it yet, but it did debut overnight in the States.
Oh, did it?
6th yesterday. You were on the 7th night. Yeah. Last night it was on in the States. So I'm looking forward
Presumably that'll be on Sky later in the week.
Hoping so.
Usually
I need to go and find out. Yeah, we usually get it about nearly a week behind if they're doing it. I think it was Sunday nights last season we got it, so we were like nearly a week behind.
Okay.
Something bizarre like that.
Moves that they've made. Obviously, biggest one in terms of
pure name.
Was Antonio Brown, and he's decided to go into a cryogenic chamber without wearing the correct footwear and got frostbite in his feet.
White Walker.
So he's currently listed with, well, he's not anymore. He was on the non-football injury list. He's come off that and is listed day to day.
So I'm going to digress for 2 seconds again. There was a clip of his kids at practice coming up to him and say, "Dad, where's Ben Roethlisberger?" I haven't seen it, but I just read the headline. I thought, hope that's on Hard Knocks. Anyway, so other than AB, which was their big win, they also picked up TB, Trent Brown.
Yeah,
that just worked as a TB now.
No.
They got Tyrell Williams from the Chargers.
So Trent Brown, he's the guard for. Was he a guard?
Tackle.
From the
Patriots. He's now the highest.
Yes,
he's now the highest paid tackle in the league. Tyrell Williams, the
wide receiver from the Chargers.
LaMarcus Joyner.
Was secondary from the Rams.
Your best pal, Fontaine Burfitt.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Nasty man at a nasty team.
And playing defense against another nasty man, Richie Incognito, who's come back from a year out of the league. But actually, that's quite a good move for him. He's not as mental as he used to be, but he might be. You never know. And this guy, who I don't know how he plays, but is the most Raiders name when I seen it, a chap called DJ Killings.
Oh, love it.
It's like, I have to mention him. In terms of who they lost, they've lost Jordy Nelson, who's now retired.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
But wasn't. Yeah,
He was only there for a year, wasn't he?
Anyway,
Yeah.
Jared Cook is quite the big one. At
That's
the
probably
end.
the big
That's quite
loss,
a big
yeah.
move. And then Donald Penn,
Who's gone to the Redskins?
Who has gone to the Redskins? Yes. So definitely way more in favour of positive team moves than what they've lost. They seem to, obviously this new draft, good character team leaders thing.
That was the
Mayock's
thing, wasn't
trying to bring
it?
in.
Yeah, it was heavily character focused.
So I'll be really interested to see how they.
And it was
they play
interesting. I think last year the record was 4-12, but I think they put up more of a fight than the record shows.
Yes, no, absolutely right with you on that. I think they were in way more games than what that shows. They could have just as easily gotten 8-8, really, with a couple of breaks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Raiders, are we saying that they're fourth in the division?
We do that in quarter
We
four.
do it in quarter four.
In quarter four, I was talking about
So where do we go next?
We'll go to Denver.
I'm going to go to Denver.
Flacco season.
Well, obviously we mentioned that last week because we were talking about AFC North. So Denver's inverted commas big off-season pickup was getting Joe Flacco in, and I've put that in inverted commas because I don't know if it's an upgrade.
I liked it.
I'm not sure. If anything, he's got a good arm and he's going up somewhere where he can air the ball.
That's what I was
If
just going to say. He's
any
going
wide
to throw
receivers,
absolute bombs.
If he's got any wide receivers that'll be able to
Although,
pick
did
it
you
up.
see the news about Emmanuel Sanders and Cortland Sutton had a lovers' tiff in training camp?
Oh, did they know? I didn't see that.
Over who was number one. And it got
I'm number one.
it got fairly heated apparently.
Brilliant.
So I like that.
Well, that's actually good. That shows a lot of competitive spirit, though, which is quite nice.
The Broncos will be interesting to see how they go this year.
do
Vic
it, so-
Fangio's first year as head coach.
Yes. So
What
we'll
do you
see how
think
he
of that?
makes the move from coordinator. I hope he's not one of these guys that is outstanding as a coordinator and just can't quite cut it at the next level. That I just feel sorry for anyone who does that. When it's just watch them flame out at the next stage of their career, and you go like, oh my god. I mean, I suppose the most recent example, he wasn't outstanding as a coordinator, but he was solid enough. Hugh Jackson. I mean, what happened to him? Like what he was able to do in Cincinnati when he was in charge of the offense was brilliant for a couple of seasons. He goes and he just has an absolute awful time as head coach.
Yeah.
I
And,
just hope it doesn't happen again for him.
Yep.
But I'm worried about what he's got to play with. They'll give him time. That's the thing. It's not all about this season, which is quite good. So it's a case of slowly rebuild and, well, let's say rebuild.
So the Broncos were quite aggressive in the draft, right? So they traded up to get Drew Lock
Yep.
In the
after
second
drafting Noah Fant as well.
No
Yeah.
fan was their first rounder.
So they were quite aggressive.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
I guess that's good to see. I like to see teams that are going for it. But I think when we spoke about the draft at the time, I didn't like the pick of Drew Lock because I felt that you are putting Joe Flacco under unnecessary pressure from a fan base from a team that's, in my eyes, will struggle to be competitive.
The good news is, and I know it is only the Hall of Fame game, but that has pretty much put that to bed already. Drew Lock's going to have to do something.
Is that good
outstanding
news?
for the next
From a Broncos point of
from
view,
a Broncos point of view,
it's really not good
they're
news.
sitting there going, Elway's messed it up yet again.
Yeah, he
because
can't find a
cannot
quarterback.
Find a quarterback, yeah. But at least it puts the competition thing heavily one-sided for now.
Yeah, Flacco's not under any real pressure.
Yeah, he is going to be the number one guy. I mean, Locke may come out over the next couple of weeks pre-season and do some wonders, but I don't think it's going to be enough now to challenge. If he'd come out all guns blazing last weekend,
Yeah.
there would already be, those questions would be heating up way more by now than what they are. They also picked up Joanne James, tackle from Dolphins, which is actually a nice move
Yeah, he was
to
good last year.
solidify the O-line. Kareem Jackson, cornerback, and they've recently picked up Theo Riddick, running back, which is a bit of a so-so, but it was just name recognition more than anyone else when I was going through
I like
it.
Philip Lindsay, so hopefully.
Well, yeah, Lindsay's the number one guy. If they've got somebody else. If
Royce Freeman was
that's who it was,
who they drafted
yes.
last year.
So I don't even know if Riddick's even going to make the squad, but you
It'll
know,
be a tough gig for him to try and get
absolutely. Who they've lost? They lost Matt Paradis at centre, which is quite a big loss for them. Domata Peko, he's actually solid enough in defence. Bradley Roby at cornerback. We mentioned
that's
that
a
last
big-
week because he went down to Texans.
Yep.
Case Keenum obviously was the part of the move that brought Flacco in. He then left, and then Shane Ray, who didn't really flash wonders. No. So they've not really lost. Pecco's solid enough in defence. Roby on the cornerback's a bit of a loss, and Paradis is probably the biggest. But
he was on mega money, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I think he got it. Is he not the highest paid centre in the league now?
I think so.
So yeah, I don't even know where he went.
Not off the top of my head, I don't know.
Anyway, I want to say somewhere like Panthers or something like that.
I think you're right with that, actually.
But yeah, so yeah, it's not too bad from the Broncos. Yep. It's not a complete dumpster fire. That's good news.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you think that Joe Flacco will do better than Case Keenum?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's I
think he's a better quarterback.
I don't know. Yeah, he's a better. It's such a tricky one.
It was the Panthers for Paradis, by the way. Just
was it not? Where did he go?
No, it was the Panthers.
Oh, it was right.
I think that the thing with the Broncos is they don't have any major star power, but they've enough, and the offense they've probably got enough that could surprise a few people.
Yeah, it's the defense that's solid.
Yeah, Von Miller with Vic Fangio will be fun.
Yeah. And I mean, Derek Wolf's solid enough.
Derek Wolf's good,
well. So they've got some pieces in the defense to help cause a bit of havoc. They're just unlucky the division they're in, I think, more than anything else.
Insane.
Yeah, so moving on, let's talk about the two insanely strong teams in this division then. So we'll start in LA and allow Gav to speak about Tyrod Taylor for a little bit.
The off-season acquisition of the whole league, I'm assuming, in your eyes.
Oh, absolutely. I really hope that Phil Rivers has another kid and get some paternity leave during the season, and Tyrod's dropped in there. Phil Rivers is soon going to have enough to create his own roster.
What's he got, about 10 now?
Yeah, something like that.
Is it 9?
Something insane.
8 or 9 was what arrived last year, wasn't it? It's just lunacy. But when you've got that much money, it doesn't matter. Yeah. You can have as many kids as you want.
Yeah.
He's going to earn in 3 games this season more than enough to cover their entire college.
Let's just pray that he doesn't split up with his wife, so he doesn't have the insane child maintenance bill.
Yeah, so they picked up your man Tyrod. They've brought over Thomas Davis from Carolina. But other than that, I didn't really think they did much in the way of acquisitions. They've been very quiet.
Yeah, they have a good team though.
Okay, yeah, but they didn't have as many holes as many other rosters, which gives you a lot more flexibility. Obviously lost Terrell Williams that we just talked about because he hopped over to
He had about 6 receptions for 7,000 yards last season.
He's running in a straight line and that's it.
It's another entire field change. The first and goal yet again after one play.
So what about just an honourable mention for Hunter Henry?
Well, you've got him. He never played last season. He was injured in pre-season, wasn't he?
Yep.
So you've effectively got an extra first-round pick this year as well.
Did he come back in the playoffs?
I don't know.
Or was there?
I think there was talk he did. I can't remember if he took any snaps or not, but
I'm not sure.
But I think that's a good player to have back if he's still got the talent. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. And obviously their defense was spectacular last season, so. Be looking for more of the same from Anthony Lynn's Chargers.
Yep.
It just leaves them one question mark, and that is Melvin Gordon.
Oh yeah.
That's the unknown. So I've put him under the list of losts because I don't think he's going to hold out too long. I think he will come back, but I don't know. He's digging himself more of a hole.
I don't know. I think Le'Veon Bell has set a precedent with running backs now,
I think they're all just
and I think that's just what they're going to do
from now on.
because it is a position where you take on so much. You take so much strain by taking those extra touches. I think he genuinely will hold out.
Yeah.
Can you see him being shipped? Can you see someone trading for him?
In terms of would a team take him? Yes. What teams are out there that would actually give up?
He's in his last year. Is he in his last year's contract?
He must be. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to say yes.
What do you think teams would pay for him if they were to trade for him? Would you give up a first rounder for him?
No, that's the thing. Chargers will want that. No team will give that.
I'm not even sure you'd
get away with a third.
Yeah, I'm not even sure you'd give up a second for a running back.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you give up a second for Lev Bell?
Personally, me, no.
Okay, that's fine. No, okay.
Why would teams draft running backs in the first round then?
I think you should only draft a running back
Just
in the
being
first
double
round
up,
if it's a true generational talent, a la Saquon. I don't think there's value in taking them high up the board.
There has been, I mean, in the last 5 years, you can see a massive change in the value of running back that are picked in the draft, and there's nowhere near as many go up near the top as used to.
I'm just
O-line
thinking
is so much more important for running backs than the actual running back.
I'm just thinking if you were to look at Melvin Gordon's numbers, you
He's
could
getting
argue
near
that
a touchdown a game.
yeah, he's
got some really
easily
solid
top 3
production.
in terms of what he done last year.
Yeah.
So if
But
you're
it's how many
saying
seasons you're going to get out of it. Do you know what I mean? Do you get 3, 4? In which case, yeah, it's probably worth a third rounder. Wouldn't really matter. Yeah, it's an interesting debate all the same. So they may or may not have Melvin Gordon. We'll find out in the next few weeks.
Yep.
And that takes us to the last team in the division, which obviously won it last season and thought for a long time we're going to win it all.
Yep.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Indeed. So they have comfortably the best quarterback in the division.
So they've lost.
And that's no slight on Phil Rivers either. I just
just
think
pulled his head out right now.
yeah, he is.
And so actually, Tyrod Taylor.
But Mahomes is
lost
just
then, yeah.
next
Yeah.
level. So
Yeah.
yeah.
If he does anything near what he did last season, I mean, some of the stuff he's been doing in practice, he did some crazy underhand, no-look throw the other day. He was just mucking around, but I was just like, that's just ridiculous.
It was
Did you see
the
when he threw it out
accurate-
the stadium? Did I tag you in that one?
I didn't see that one.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
see he was doing accuracy drills the other day with his left hand
Yes.
and was just hitting every single net
And
with his
hands
left
good.
hand?
Yeah, I was just like, get away from him. What a guy.
How much do you think that makes it harder for a defense if you've got a quarterback can throw with 2 arms?
It's got to be ludicrous. And
Because you can't push the pocket one way deliberately
Yes.
or the other. You have to wait for him to decide first.
And it's not
how
even-
quick you react. It's so
yeah. So you've got two parts to that. One, he can throw it with both hands, and two, he
He's
can
also quite
throw it.
mobile.
He can throw it where he's not looking as well.
And you cannot defend that. There's just no way around it.
And so much of the secondary defence is about where's the quarterback looking.
Yeah,
And if he can
can't
just
get
look
these
one way
eyes.
and throw it to the other side of the
Don't
field,
even get me started. Insane.
So they do have some challenges, right? Though, so Tyreek Hill,
Yep.
he's going to be out for what TBC is it? Up to 8
well-
games.
So he's back on the roster, and I think the NFL said that they cannot find. Basically, they're not
Oh,
going
really?
to suspend him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting suspended.
Oh,
at all.
wow.
Yes.
Shambles.
Must have missed that.
Yeah,
Utter shambles.
Yeah. Well, yes.
That man is a scumbag.
He is.
So
But
yeah.
Unacceptable
again,
talent,
not
scumbag.
proven.
Yeah,
The difference for
caveat.
you likes of your Kareem Hunts is something came out in the public and it was really obvious to see what he did, so it was really easy to lay down that suspension. There is an audio tape, but the police, I don't think, have given it to something weird. Like the police
But
haven't
that-
given the NFL what they need in order for the NFL to turn around and
Yeah.
go, yeah, okay.
So, like, if he
you can
appealed
get
it, he would
suspended.
win, sort of thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's no point in them suspending him at the beginning. I think that's really the crux of it.
So I guess for them, from a PR perspective, they're probably thinking if we know that there's a high possibility that we lose if he appeals some sort of suspension, that's worse PR than just
Exactly.
letting him play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So they've got to play that game. So I don't think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's
I guess
missing any
that's
game
tough,
time
isn't
at
it?
all.
Right?
Yep.
So,
Which makes it even more.
Wow.
Better for them.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
He done some spectacular stuff last season. Tyreek Hill. Remember that play against the Cowboys?
It was the year
Oh,
before.
that was the year before, so it was.
Yeah.
Because that was on.
It was on All or Nothing
Oh,
last year.
That's why we watched. That's why we played
yeah,
it
that's
last
the year
year because
before.
we were remembering. Yeah, that was ridiculous. They
that
ran
was-
like an entire field length within the last 40 yards and just basically ran around the whole like 9
There's
defenders
nobody.
or something.
I think I've said it before. There is nobody else in the NFL can do what he can do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean he's the best wide receiver, but nobody can do what he can do.
true. So
What,
let's start
what,
with
what,
they've lost.
oh, sorry. I was just going to do what you were going to do.
Who they've lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they lost Eric Berry, who I think also hasn't been picked up by anyone, even now.
Nope.
But I wonder if that's maybe more on him. I wonder if he's like, do you know what, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
could be.
Instead of what he's gone through. He's earned enough anyway. He's not, it doesn't really matter too much, but he's still young. He's still got another contract in him if he wants to go to another team. D Ford got traded away, and they lost Justin Houston. It's a bit of a
Big
bit
loss
of
in
a
defense, but the defense
loss,
was
yeah.
pretty crap last year.
They did, however, then trade for Flank Hart, Clark.
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark to kind of basically replace D Ford. They traded for Darren Lee. They got Emmanuel Ogba in a trade from the Browns. They've picked up
Absolutely.
Alex Okafor from the Rams.
Pretty good, actually.
Tyrann Mathieu obviously came in there at safety.
Yeah, that's not
now,
great.
I don't know if he's... Is he? I was about to say, I don't know if he
overall
is anymore.
acquisitions.
Oh, right, overall, yes. So overall, and Brashad Breeland, he's one of your former
Redskins player.
isn't he?
And Packers. I think.
As well. So they've addressed a lot of, because it was the defence that let them down last season.
Definitely.
There was nothing wrong with the
That
offense.
game against the Patriots where it was just like Brady had all the time in the world. Edelman was free every single drive.
Yep.
And everyone could see that he was going to throw it to Edelman, and he was still able to do it.
Yep.
And so hopefully these acquisitions can help him go to the next level, because I do like Andy Reid, I do like the way the Chiefs play, and I think Pat Mahomes deserves to be successful.
Yep. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter of episode 44.
Probably third and fourth quarter. We're about to go into overtime, I think.
Yeah. It's been a long third quarter. It has. As ever, find us on Twitter at the AF Cast. Let us know what you think, and we will see you again in the fourth quarter.